I still have so many questions when it comes to what's going on here. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. The Celeste Rivas Hernandez and singer David situation. I have some questions. In my mind, I'm still not quite understanding what they're telling us when it comes to how Celeste's body was actually found. Apparently, this Tesla had been moved around from spot to spot since the summertime and had definitely been sitting where it was before it was towed away for about a month, according to the neighbors in the area. Apparently, it was something that people noticed because it had Texas plates. So I guess because it wasn't something that looked very local, it got people's attention. Now, I have seen reports in different articles, only online articles, claiming that some of the neighbors did report smelling something, but they thought it was just an animal. Apparently that came from police, but I can't find anything from the police to verify that. But I would assume that since she was in such a deep state of decomposition, that there would have had to have been someone else that smelt something from that damn Tesla before it got towed, right? The car was towed on what we're hearing is the 6th of September. And the police were called 2 days later on the 8th because of this smell, and that's whenever they found Celeste. Now, they have described how her body was found several different ways. They've called it remains, body parts, stating that not all of her was intact, but they've really used the word quite a bit. But you still have to question, okay, exactly what do you mean? Because they went from telling us that it was just her head and her torso to giving us a full-on description that there were black leggings on her, that she had a tube top on, that she had a bracelet on. I don't know what side, but she had a bracelet on, that she had a metal stud earring, that she had dark, black, thick, curly hair, that she was around 5'1" or 5'2", how much the remains weighed. So to me, when we hear just like this mixture of all of this together, I'm just assuming that she was taken apart. And that in order for them to know how much she weighed and how tall she would have been, and they laid her out on a table and they tried to piece her together as much as possible. I mean, they were going to have to do that in order to fully examine what happened to her. If she was, and they have all that information to where the tattoo on her finger, the bracelets, the clothes that she had on. I just wish we had some clarity because it's a little bit all over the place with a whole lot of description and a whole lot of detail. So it's very contradictorial in my opinion. Now, according to Steve Fisher over on Twitter, and some of you might recognize that name, some of you might not, but he is a private investigator. Me and him have been in contact for quite a few years now, so whenever he posts something about a case, I usually pay attention because he knows how to get inside information. He posted about his concern about what this dismembered definition could actually mean because we also have all these other descriptions. So about 7 hours before the time that I recorded this video, it is, what time is it? It is 9:37 on 9/23/2025. This is probably going to be posted on the 24th. So 7 hours before I recorded this, he posted this. I reached out to the medical examiner's office and specifically asked if they mentioned anything about dismemberment, and they provided the following. This does not mean LAPD didn't tell media sources differently, though. Exactly. We don't know who was doing this, who was saying what. Word of mouth, game of telephone. We have to trust photos. We have to trust initial reports for the most part. Body cam, something concrete. But let's go ahead and get into what this says. Prior to the official identification of Ms. Rivas Hernandez, the following description was on the website. The decedent was found severely decomposed inside a vehicle on 9/8/2025. She appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found. We are unable to determine her age or race/ethnicity. The decedent was wearing a tube top and black leggings size small. She has wavy black hair, Jewelry includes yellow metal stud earrings with a yellow metal chain bracelet. One would assume that yellow metal is gold or gold plated. Now, to say that they are unable to determine her race or ethnicity off the bat, you would have to assume that her body was past the point to be able to tell facial features right off the bat, any sort of guessing based off of skin tone right off the bat, but apparently still preserved enough to still have the remnants of the tattoo, which is, yes, very, very possible. Now, I don't see anything in this for how much she weighed. I know that what we've been hearing is that it was around 70 pounds, and a lot of people are, I guess, in my opinion, not really quite understanding that that doesn't mean that she was malnutritioned or not taken care of before she passed away. That's how much her body weighs in deep decomposition. There's a lot of mass that has to be already gone in order for them to say that they are unable to determine her age or race / ethnicity. You have to think about that too. Now, a few hours after Steve Fisher posted that, he also posted that her remains were released from the medical examiner's office this afternoon to a private funeral home. So she's one step closer for her to be able to finally be put to rest. I just hope that they did all of the actual forensic work that they needed to do here. And honestly, something else that Steve Fisher mentions is that there's a possibility that there won't be any like homicide charges. There is maybe a possibility that something happened and she passed away from either, I would say, natural causes, but I don't see what naturally could take out a 14-year-old. I just don't. Or maybe some sort of OD. We don't really know what kind of life they were living. This was already hella risky, okay? So there's really just no telling what was happening. An accident could have happened. Someone could have freaked out and decided to just hide her instead. We don't know. But to say that that's possible, I understand why people want to, you know, the whole like maybe it was an accident type thing and someone flipped out and is just hiding her and freaking out. I don't know. I don't see that being the case whenever you see how dark this guy is. When you see the kind of darkness and the kind of disgusting things that he promotes. I just... Now, the other last thing that I heard is that the lease was just broken on that house. Now, remember, his name was not on the lease. This was a $20,000 a month rental, and it was under the name of, like, his manager. So they suddenly broke that lease, and he's no longer staying there. But my question is, because of the situation, can they make him stay in the area? Or is he just allowed to leave? And just maybe, I don't know, end up back in Houston for a while and not even in California where the investigation is actually happening? Does that mean he gets to go back to Texas? What's going on with that? But as for any official information on what evidence might have been taken or found or any charges, period, about anything, we don't have anything like that so far. We know that there was a vigil held for her. And again, her remains were released and it's getting closer to her and her family being able to come to some sort of closure for now. But again, there's a lot of questionable things with the family too. A lot of stuff we haven't talked about on here because I feel like we need to get to some more facts. I'm already not happy with the fact that they were very well aware of this situation. They were very well aware that she was dating a grown-up, someone that was 5 years or more older than her. The brother himself said that's the Tesla he would come and pick her up in. The last time we saw her, she was picked up by him and never came back. That's a lot of wildness to me. One last thing that we actually now have confirmed, the owner of the house is verifying that there is a working security system, that he had the cameras installed before David even started staying at the house a year ago, and you basically cannot get in or out of that house without being seen on camera. So hopefully it captured something. But again, let me know what you guys are thinking about all this stuff so far in this case down in the comments. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that that notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.